and you are very dear to us, but you should not play this joke on us, because now we are all shivering from the cold water. Kindly deliver our garments immediately, otherwise we shall suffer." They then began to appeal to Krishna with great submission. "Dear Shamasundar," they said, "we are all your eternal servitors. Whatever you order us to do, we are obliged to perform without hesitation because we consider it our religious duty. But if you insist on putting this proposal to us, which is impossible to perform, then certainly we will have to go to Nanda Maharaj and lodge a complaint against you. If Nanda Maharaj does not take action, then we shall tell King Kamsa about your misbehavior." Upon hearing this appeal by the unmarried gopis, Krishna answered, "My dear girls, if you think that you are my eternal servitors and that you are always ready to execute my order, then my request is that, with your smiling faces, you please come here alone, one after another, and take away your garments. If you do not come here, however, and if you lodge complaints with my father, I shall not care anyway, for I know my father is old and cannot take any action against me." When the gopis saw that Krishna was strong and determined, they had no alternative but to abide by his order. One after another they came out of the water, and because they were completely naked, they tried to cover their nakedness by placing their left hand over their pubic area. In that posture, they were all shivering. Their simple presentation was so pure that Lord Krishna immediately became pleased with them. All the unmarried gopis who prayed to Katyayani to have Krishna as their husband were thus satisfied. A woman cannot be naked before any male except her husband. The unmarried gopis desired Krishna as their husband, and he fulfilled their desire in this way. Being pleased with them, he took their garments on his shoulder and began to speak as follows. "My dear girls, you have committed a great offense by going naked in the river Yamuna. Because of this, the predominating deity of the Yamuna, Varunadeva, has become displeased with you. Please, therefore, just touch your foreheads with folded palms and bow down before the demigod Varuna in order to be excused from this offensive act." The gopis were all simple souls, and whatever Krishna said, they took to be true. In order to be freed from the wrath of Varunadeva, as well as to fulfill the desired end of their vows, and ultimately to please their worshipable Lord Krishna, they immediately abided by his order. Thus they became the greatest lovers of Krishna and his most obedient servitors. Nothing can compare with the Krishna consciousness of the gopis. Actually, the gopis did not care for Varuna or any other demigod. They only wanted to satisfy Krishna. Krishna became very ingratiated and satisfied by the simple dealings of the gopis, and he immediately delivered their respective garments, one after another. Although Krishna cheated the young unmarried gopis and made them stand naked before him and enjoyed joking words with them, and although he treated them just like dolls and stole their garments, they were still pleased with him and never lodged complaints against him. This attitude of the gopis is described by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he prays, "My dear Lord Krishna, you may embrace me or trample me under your feet, or you may make me broken-hearted by never being present before me. Whatever you like, you can do, because you have complete freedom to act. But in spite of all your dealings, you are my Lord eternally, and I have no other worshipable object. This is the attitude of the gopis toward Krishna. So do we know who Lord Chaitanya is? This is the attitude of Lord Chaitanya. In this picture above me, on my left, which one of these 5 personalities is Lord Chaitanya? Pub quiz. Which one is Lord Chaitanya? Anyone knows? Yes. That divine personality in the center, in the yellow garments. This is Lord Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanya. He is Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. He appeared in this world over 500 years ago in Navadvip. Why did he appear here? Well, we're going to be talking a lot more about that towards the end of this month as we run up to Gaur Purnim, the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya. He appeared in order to teach us how to be a devotee. He appeared in order to give us the method of realizing Krishna for ourselves. And what is that method? Someone tell me. What is the method that Lord Chaitanya gave? Who knows? Kali Yuga Avatar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this age of Kali, which began 5,000 years ago. And he came here to give us the religious process for this age. And this age endures for 432,000 years. That's a long time. Can you imagine the state of this world after 400,000 years? That's a long time. I'm just struggling to hear myself speak because I can hear so many other people talking. There's so much space outside of the temple room for talking. It's amazing how much space there is out beyond that door. Yeah, if anyone would like to talk, you're free to talk outside. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to give us the religious process for the next 432 or 427,000 now years. That's a long time. And that process is the loud congregational chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we come together and chant this mantra together, we are worshipping Lord Krishna perfectly according to the recommendation of the Vedic literatures for this particular age. There's no better way to worship God, and there's no better way to perform sacrifice for the satisfaction of God. This is the best way. And it was given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. When Krishna came 5,000 years ago, yes, he left his instruction in Bhagavad Gita. He said, "Surrender unto me, become my devotee." But he did not explicitly teach how to do that. So again he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us directly how to be a devotee, what to do. And it is very, very simple. Just chant the holy names of the Lord. Just chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the association of devotees. That's all that is required. Under the guidance of great devotees. So, Lord Chaitanya, he demonstrated that the highest mood of devotion is there in the gopis of Vrindavan, the cowherd girls of Vrindavan. And therefore, this is his mood. My dear Lord Krishna, you may embrace me or trample me under your feet. Or you may make me broken-hearted by never being present before me. Whatever you like, you can do. Because you have complete freedom to act. This is love. Who loves like this? Usually it's, yes, I love you, but if you don't give me what I want, not so much. This is the nature of conditional love. As long as you please my senses, I will show you some affection. But as soon as you don't please my senses, then I don't want anything to do with you. Huh? Then we can fight and go our separate ways. This is the nature of conditional love. But the love of the gopis says, you have complete freedom. Do what you like, how you like. If you want to embrace me, embrace me. If you want to trample me, trample me. If you want to break my heart by never being present before me, you can do that, and still I love you. This is love. So what passes for love in the material world is not really love. It's lust. In its gross and subtle forms. We don't fully love. We are conditional lovers. But Krishna is not purchased by conditional love. Krishna is purchased by unconditional love. This is the highest form of love of Godhead. Absolutely unconditional. You have complete freedom, and still, I cannot forget you. Still, I will do anything to please you, regardless of how you treat me. That would be classified as abuse in this world by certain people. But real love is that giving. Of course, to receive that real love, you would have to be a very deserving person, right? Who's going to give that quality of love to just anybody? Who deserves that quality of love? God, Krishna. He is the most lovable person. He is the most worthy person of receiving such unconditional love. Lord Krishna was pleased with them. And since they all desired to have him as their husband, he told them, my dear, well-behaved girls, I know of your desire for me and why you worshipped Goddess Katyayani, and I completely approve of your action. Anyone whose full consciousness is always absorbed in me, even if in lust, is elevated. As a fried seed cannot fructify, so any desire in connection with my loving service cannot produce any fruitive result as in ordinary karma. There is a statement in the Brahma Samhita, Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Everyone is bound by his fruitive activities, but the devotees, because they work completely for the satisfaction of the Lord, suffer no reactions. Right, so because we are performing so many activities in this world on our own account, for our own purpose, then we have to also receive the consequences of all of those actions. That is the law of karma, which we all know very, very well. But if one acts purely for Krishna's sake, then one is absolved of any karmic reaction. Just like if a soldier goes to war and fights for the cause of the state or the king, he may be engaged in so much fighting, he may even kill enemy soldiers. For the act of killing, he will be honored, rewarded. They'll give him a medal, a parade. No negative reaction for that killing. But if the same soldier comes home and murders someone out of envy or lust or greed, he'll be thrown in jail. because he did something he killed on his own account. I'm not giving this example to advocate killing specifically. I'm simply using the example to point out that when we act on our own behalf, we receive the results, good or bad. And when we act on behalf of the Lord, then there is no material reaction. Because Krishna is all spiritual. So when we do something for Krishna's sake, according to what Krishna wants, there is no material result, no material reaction. So everyone is bound by his fruitive activities. That's why we are suffering in this world. Because we're receiving the results of our previous activities. And they're mixed. We're getting some bad results and some good results. Some things we like, some things we don't like. Yeah? Everybody can say, oh, I like this thing about my life, but I don't like that thing. You know, maybe I don't have enough money. Or maybe I like my spouse, but my children, hate me. There's so many things. We have such a mixed bag in our lives, and every life is unique, you could say. And this is the result of previous material actions in this life and previous lives. But when we begin to take up work, which is for Krishna's pleasure, then we are freed from all karmic reaction. So how to take up work for Krishna's pleasure? Yagyartat karmano nyatra, lokoyam karma bandhana, tarartam karma kantiya, mukta sangha samachara. We have to perform work which is sacrifice for Vishnu. That's the best kind of work. Do something that is for the satisfaction of God. And by that work, mukta sangha samachara, one is freed from all material bondage. So what kind of work pleases Krishna? That should be our question. We have to ask that question and seek the answer from Krishna, who will send to us saintly devotees or a spiritual master who can tell us how we should engage our energies. How we should engage our energies to please Krishna. Such a spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. And when he asks us to do something, and by following his order, that will protect us. That will be pleasing to Krishna. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. By pleasing the spiritual master, one pleases Krishna directly. So we should seek out such a spiritual master who can tell us what our service is. And by following his instructions faithfully, we will be completely free from all material reactions. How to meet such a spiritual master? Well, the spiritual master is Krishna's agent, his representative. So we should pray to Krishna to send us such a spiritual master if we at all want to be free from material bondage. But if we like the material world, if we have some business here and we want to, we still have some plans and projects to fulfill here, then we don't need a spiritual master. Yeah, we can continue with our plans and our projects and get the results, good and bad. And again, take birth in order to receive those results. We don't need a guru if we want to remain in the material world. So everyone is bound by his fruitive activities, but the devotees, because they work completely for the satisfaction of the Lord, suffer no reactions. Similarly, the gopis' attitude toward Krishna, although seemingly lusty, should not be considered to be like the lusty desires of ordinary women. The reason is explained by Krishna himself. Activities in devotional service to Krishna are transcendental to any fruitive result. My dear gopis, Krishna continued, your desire to have me as your husband will be fulfilled, because it is with this desire that you worshipped Goddess Katyayani. I promise you that during the next autumn season you shall be able to meet with me, and you shall enjoy me as your husband. Later, Krishna, in the company of his cowherd boy friends, took shelter of the shade of some trees and became very happy. Thus he addressed the inhabitants of Vrindavana. My dear Stoka Krishna, my dear Varutapa, my dear Bhadrasena, my dear Sudama, my dear Subala, my dear Arjuna, my dear Vishala, my dear Rishabha, just look at these most fortunate trees of Vrindavana. They have dedicated their lives to the welfare of others. Individually, they are tolerating all kinds of natural disturbances, such as hurricanes, torrents of rain, scorching heat, and piercing cold. But they are very careful to relieve our fatigue and give us shelter. My dear friends, I think they are glorified in this birth as trees. They are so careful to give shelter to others that they are like noble, highly elevated, charitable men who never deny charity to one who approaches them. No one is denied shelter by these trees. They supply various kinds of facilities to human society, such as leaves, flowers, fruit, shade, roots, bark, flavor extracts, and fuel. They are the perfect example of noble life. They are like a noble person who has sacrificed everything possible, his body, mind, activities, intelligence, and words, for the welfare of all living entities. So in this way, the Lord is glorifying the trees of Vrindavan. How they are so selflessly giving of themselves, huh? A tree just stands there, and you can come and take a flower from the tree, right? You don't have to ask, you can just take. Or fruit, you can just take. If you need shade, the tree is there, ready to give you shade. Huh? If you need wood, even, of course, better to take the wood from disconnected branches, dead parts of a tree. That is best. But if someone even came and cut off a limb of a living tree, the tree does not protest. So tolerant, therefore Lord Chaitanya said, you should chant Hare Krishna in a humble state of mind, being more tolerant than a tree. How tolerant is a tree? A tree is incredibly tolerant. Tree does not protest. Dog comes along, right? Leaves its mark. Tree does not protest. So we're recommended to be more tolerant than a tree. Thus the Supreme Personality of Godhead walked on the bank of the Yamuna, touching the leaves of the trees and their fruits, flowers, and twigs, and praising their glorious welfare activities. Different people may accept certain welfare activities to be beneficial for human society according to their own views, but the welfare activity that can be rendered to people in general for eternal benefit is the spreading of the Krishna consciousness movement. Everyone should be prepared to propagate this movement. Are we prepared to propagate this movement? As instructed by Lord Chaitanya, one should be humbler than the grass on the ground and more tolerant than the tree. Are we prepared? How many millions of people are living out there? Right here we are sat in this holy dham, this sacred place, in front of the deity of Lord Krishna, hearing about his pastimes. And we are being immensely benefited. There are millions of people out there who are suffering. They know nothing about this, and they know nothing about how to relieve their suffering. Practically, they are set up for perpetual suffering. So how will each of us, sat here in this temple room, help to propagate this Krishna consciousness movement so that people might have a chance to become free from this hellish condition? Each of us should take it as a personal responsibility. How to help Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in relieving humanity from this suffering condition. And how can we do that? Tell them about Krishna. Yari de gatari kaha Krishna upadesh. Amaragya guruha tare edesh. Simply tell them about Krishna's instruction. Tell them to always think of Krishna, worship Krishna, bow down to Krishna. And the easiest, most accessible way to take up Krishna consciousness is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If we just teach people how to chant Hare Krishna, then we are performing the greatest welfare work. So many welfare projects are being initiated, and all of them are doomed to final failure because none of them solve the real problem. The real problem is old age, disease, death. So the real welfare work is how to free somebody from birth, death, old age, and disease. And that can be achieved by getting everybody to chant Krishna's names. And for those that are intellectually inclined and like to know what this is all about, what this chanting is all about, then we have so many books. You can be busy for decades hearing these books. So it is so simple and sublime. Distribute these books. Allow people the opportunity to hear these books and get everybody to chant Hare Krishna. So simple. And that is the responsibility of each of us who knows what this is and how valuable it is. The toleration of the tree is explained by Lord Krishna himself. And those who are engaged in the preaching of Krishna consciousness should learn lessons from the teachings of Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya through their direct disciplic succession. So we're reading this Krishna book, we're hearing from Lord Krishna through the transparent via medium of his pure servant, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada is giving us these instructions. So many lessons are available for us in these books. Be more tolerant than a tree. It's hard to cooperate. It's hard to put up with people who are unreasonable, who can't communicate with civility. Sometimes it's incredibly difficult to put up with other people and the way they think, the way they act, and the way they talk. But we have to try to tolerate and cooperate for preaching this knowledge. While passing through the forest of Vrindavan on the bank of the Yamuna, Krishna sat down at a beautiful spot and allowed the cows to drink the cold and transparent water of the Yamuna. Being fatigued, the cowherd boys, Krishna and Balaram, also drank. After seeing the young gopis bathe in the Yamuna, Krishna passed the rest of the morning with the boys. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 22nd chapter of Krishna, stealing the garments of the unmarried gopi girls. So yesterday, one of the ladies who was listening to this narration, after the talk, she went and she bought a Krishna book from just outside there in the reception. Yes? So if you want a copy of this book, and you want others to be able to hear this information, then we have many Krishna books available. Yeah? Don't be shy. You can get one. And now we're going to have Bhagavad Gita class. Are there any brief questions at all? maybe we did not leave enough time for that. Anyway, if there are, you can find me later after the class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. We'll sing Jai Radha Madhav for a few minutes and Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so please sing along with me. Then we'll discuss chapter 4 today, Bhagavad Gita, and second last verse of the chapter, with your blessings. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari यमुनातिरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोकुलानंद राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधा गोकुलानंद राधे जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। एकादशी तिथि की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, text 41. योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानसञ्चिन्नसंशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानसञ्चिन्नसंशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानसञ्चिन्नसंशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय. Someone like to recite? योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानसञ्चिन्नसंशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय. Word by word translation. Yoga. By devotional service in Karma Yoga. Sannyasta. One who has renounced. Karmanam. The fruits of actions. Gnana. By knowledge. Sanchinna. Cut. Samshayam. Doubts. Atmavantam. Situated in the self. Na. Never. Karmani. Works. Nibadnanti. Do bind. Dhananjaya. O conqueror of riches. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his actions, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. Thus he is not bound by the reactions of work, O conqueror of riches. Purport. One who follows the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita as it is imparted by the Lord, the personality of Godhead himself, becomes free from all doubts by the grace of transcendental knowledge. He, as a part and parcel of the Lord, in full consciousness, in full Krishna consciousness, is already established in self-knowledge. As such, he is undoubtedly above bondage to action. Om Agnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhaite Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Ekadasi, happy Vijaya Ekadasi. It's a very auspicious day today and it's so nice you're all here to take darshan of Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda, Sita Ram, Lakshman Hanuman, Gaur Nitai, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, Nashingadev, Panchatattva, Six Goswami, Ki Jai. Beautiful altar we have. So, this is the second last verse in this chapter. In chapter 4, there are total 42 verses. And for my benefit, I was reading today the chapter and I felt that why not discuss the entire chapter in a summary way so that the second last verse will be automatically be understood with your blessings and guidance and discussion. We can do it together. So I would like to do it this way, that we'll summarize chapter 4 as quick as possible. So the chapter is entitled Transcendental Knowledge. Transcendental means spiritual knowledge. Anything that is beyond the three modes of material nature, beyond this spiritual world, beyond this material world is transcendental, which is in spiritual world. And so it's also called Gnana Yoga. Now yoga means to connect, to link, and Gnana Yoga means to link with Krishna through knowledge. And that knowledge is spiritual, it is transcendental knowledge because it is directly coming from Lord Krishna himself. And the first verse, so the four topics of this chapter is just the themes are first, Krishna talks about parampara of knowledge. What is parampara? It is chain of teachers and students. Then it is the divine nature of Krishna's appearance is discussed. How does Krishna deal with different people? And then lastly, how to attain this spiritual knowledge, or who can attain this spiritual knowledge, how to attain it. So, spiritual knowledge comes in parampara, as Krishna speaks the first verse, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshva Kave Bravit. So, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita comes in bona fide parampara, Guru Shishya parampara, and Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita first to Sun God, whose name is Vivasvan. He then spoke it to Manu, who is the Prajapati, the father of mankind, and then Manu spoke it to Ikshvaku. And so we may question, why is Krishna speaking it to sun god only, sun planet? There are so many other 14 planetary systems. Why sun god? Because sun god is king of all the planets. Sun controls the orbits of all other planets, and not only that, sun is working under the control of Krishna. He is a devotee. He is working under Krishna's supervision. And there is a very beautiful verse here in Brahma Samhita related to this. Yachakshuresha savita sakala grahanam raja samashta suramurti rashesha tejaha yasya gnaya brahmati sambrita kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So sun god is like an eye of this world. We can't see if there is no sunlight, right? So he is an eye of this world, and it is working under the supervision of Lord Krishna. Under Krishna's order, it is rotating. And then this transcendental knowledge is, transcendental teachings are transmitted transparently for the transformation of people. What does it mean that it is transmitted transparently? So knowledge should be given and passed on from Guru to Shishya as it is. It should not be concocted. Because transcendental knowledge, as long as it is authentic, it will make sense to people, and it should, as it is, it should come. So then the second verse says, and then only it will revive the actual nature of the person, which is eternal relationship with Krishna. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapam. So through disciplic succession, the knowledge was spoken to even the Raja Rishi. So what is Raja and Rishi? It's not making sense, right? One is Raja means king. He is so opulent and he is a Kshatriya, and Rishi is a Brahmana, sage. But Raja Rishi is a very wonderful combination. These kings, they were like kings among the sages. He was a sage amongst kings. So they were given spiritual knowledge because they have to rule the world, right? So they should have spiritual knowledge so they can give the spiritual knowledge, the culture, values, virtues to his citizens. So kings were, educated in the spiritual knowledge. And that's why they were called Raja Rishi. They ruled with detachment at the same with spiritual knowledge, and they imparted this culture to their own citizens. So everyone lives in a very nice spiritual way with spiritual Krishna consciousness. But over the period of time, what happened is that this knowledge was lost. And we spoke about parampara. So it is like a chain. A chain, if we imagine, has so many links, and all the links are connected to each other, right? And if we imagine this link of chain is pulling luggage, and then all the links are made up of solid iron, but in between, if there is one thermocol link and you pull the luggage with that chain, it's going to break, right? Because that link is a weak link. And that's how, when the knowledge is not transmitted as it is authentically, then the chain of Guru and Shishya breaks, and at that time Krishna comes in this world to revive that knowledge. He comes himself to give that knowledge, like Krishna came 5,000 years ago, as we know, and he gave the Bhagavad Gita knowledge to Arjuna. So there is a very good lesson from here, is that when we are connected to bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara, we should represent those Vaishnavas, our Gurus, very nicely by our mood, by our attitude, by our behavior and our conduct and demeanor. And we should dissemination this knowledge as it is. It must be given, it should be first learnt properly, like how we are learning under the guidance in light of Srila Prabhupada's purport. So it should be learned properly, and then it should be repeated authentically, and original message must be preserved. But if we concoct it, imagine it, and speculate something that is not represented as it is, as purely as it is, then the parampara is broken. And Srila Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, 4th chapter, 1st verse, in the purport, he writes very beautifully, I like to read it as it is, that when we gain knowledge, then we understand it. Then it is called realization. So personal realization does not mean that one should, out of vanity, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous acharya. He must have full confidence in the previous acharya. At the same time, he must realize the subject matter so nicely that he can present the matter for the particular circumstances in a suitable manner. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it. Yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience. And this is called realization. So according to time, place, circumstances, the audience, the speaker can give relevant examples in a practical way, but it should be in line with the authentic knowledge. It should not be concocted. Then it is called realization. So why Krishna chose then Arjuna to give knowledge? We discussed sun god, and then Manu, Ikshvaku, Raj Rishis. But now, 5,000 years ago, Arjuna was given this knowledge. Because the real qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita is that the disciple should be a devotee and a friend. Sa evayam maya tedhya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetaduttamam. Transcendental knowledge is rahasyam. Why? Because it is a confidential knowledge, because this knowledge will take us from material world to spiritual world. I mean, come on, it's a really confidential knowledge. We want to go back to Godhead, right? This is superhuman, spoken by Krishna himself. And that's why a confidential spiritual knowledge. In 9.1 also Krishna says, idam tute guhyatamam, confidential. Pravakshyami anasuyave, gnanam vignanam sahitam, yad gnatva mokshase ashubhat. Means those who are non-envious can only understand this knowledge. And at the same time, the person should be favorable who is receiving this knowledge. They should have affection for Krishna, love for Krishna. They should be in friendship with Krishna. They should be devotee of Krishna. Then they can understand this knowledge with that mindset. To begin with, that mindset is very necessary. So these are the qualifications, and we know Arjuna is a best friend of Krishna, he is a devotee of Krishna. So that is why, intelligence is required to understand this knowledge, definitely. Intelligence is one of the abilities required. We need to do analysis, we need to understand the verses, fine. But along with ability, what is important is eligibility. So here ability is intelligence, to understand Bhagavad Gita, grammar and everything, shlokas, but eligibility is devotion and friendship to Krishna. And later on in the verses we'll see that even faith is required, right? In 39th verse we will see that. So there is also a beautiful story of South Indian Brahmana in this context, and I was just thinking of this today, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Nitai in the center, so that Gauranga is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is none other than Lord Krishna himself, who came 500 years ago in the form of a devotee, so that Krishna can teach us. He is so merciful. He came as devotee to show us how to become devotee. I mean, come on, this is so wonderful. So he was touring South India, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he comes to Sri Rangam. And in this temple, there is a very simple South Indian Brahmana. He is reading Bhagavad Gita. But at the same time, he has got Bhagavad Gita and he is crying. He is looking at the picture, he is opening, he is reading, he is crying. And actually, the truth is that he is illiterate. He can't read, and he is not educated. And people around him would also watch him every day, and they'll joke about him, mock him, and tears will be coming down. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him and he said, "What happened? Why are you crying?" And obviously it's not because everyone's making fun of you. I know that. What is it? Why are you crying? And he just said that, I can't read, but my Guru asked me to read Bhagavad Gita. So it is my Guru's instruction, so I'm reading. But every time I open Bhagavad Gita, I see the picture that Lord Krishna himself is a charioteer. He is driving the chariot of his devotee Arjun. Now we all know that Krishna is greatest warrior. I mean, at the age of 6 days old, he killed Putna. Then he killed Shakatasur. Then Trinavrata. These demons are great, big demons, much more bigger than Duryodhan or, whoever is on Kaurava's side. But he is giving up all those his Kshatriya abilities and become a menial servant like charioteer. How much he loves his devotee. So seeing these, tears are falling from my eyes that Krishna loves his devotees so much. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you can't read Bhagavad Gita, but you have understood the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So first of all, you are submissive to your Guru, you are obedient to your Guru, that is first qualification required. And secondly, you have love for Krishna, and that is what is required to understand Bhagavad Gita. Because if we love Krishna, then we will understand he loves us back. Unless we understand he loves me, how will I know he loves me back? So you have understood and you are really appreciating the foremost quality of Krishna, that he is Bhakta Vatsala. He loves his devotees. So you have understood Krishna, you have understood Bhagavad Gita, and you are done. And then that Brahmana became so like humbled and happy, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so happy to find this pure devotee of the Lord. So the point here is our qualification to understand is not just the ability of intelligence, but eligibility, love, and devotion for Krishna is very, very important. So after this, Arjuna has a question as the chapter progresses for Krishna, that how comes sun god is much older than you? We are both similar age almost. We are contemporary. So you are born after sun god, and how you gave the knowledge to sun god? Now we have to understand here is that the whole Bhagavad Gita is set up in a way that Arjuna is put into this kind of confusion, so that he asks these questions and we get Bhagavad Gita through Arjuna, and then Krishna speaks. So he's a pure devotee, he knows Krishna is Supreme Lord, but he is asking this so that the atheist who don't believe in Krishna will not think also that, oh, this is spoken by Krishna, how is it possible, he only came 5,000 years ago? But no, that is not true. Krishna is forever there, he is unborn. And like I'll give you example, Srila Prabhupada gives example of sunrise and sunset. For example, when the sun rises, do we say sun is born? And when sun sets, do we say sun is dead? No. In other part of the globe, sunrise is happening, sunset is happening throughout and continuously. So sun is there. Sunrise and sunset doesn't mean birth and death of sun. In the same way, Krishna comes and he goes from this planet. It doesn't mean he is just born and now he's gone, he's no more. No. So actually there are so many incarnations that take place that it's so innumerable, you can't count them. Like there are sand particles on a beach. Can anyone count how many sand particles are on a vast beach? Impossible. Like that, there are so many times Krishna has come. Lord Ram, Varaha, Dev, then Narsingha Dev, so many incarnations, Buddha, Kalki will come. All these incarnations are coming, Parshuram, and happening all the time. So these are just the few that we are talking about. And like that, there is a very nice verse in again Brahma Samhita. Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam adyam purana purusham navayauvanam cha vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhaktau govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. This verse explains Govinda's transcendental nature. Krishna is Achyuta. He is infallible. He never fails in his love for his devotees, and also he never fails and he never forgets all his appearances. So he says, Krishna says to Arjun that, wait, you have forgotten so many births you have taken and I have taken. He says births, but it's not a birth. Krishna just appears. Arjuna, you don't remember, but I remember every birth. And then, when Bhagavad Gita was spoken, maybe Krishna was a century old. On this planet, he was here for 125 years, and when the Kurukshetra war happened, maybe he was 100 years old, but he looks like a 16-year-old, maybe 20-year-old, so youthful, so beautiful. And this is how Krishna is. He's unborn, he's one without a second, he's infallible, he has endless forms, he's origin of all, he's ever youthful, and he's easy to attain by bhakti. So in this way, Arjuna's question is answered that, okay, fine, you have been forever there. And also in 1.3.28 Srimad Bhagavatam, there is very popular verse, Ete chamsha kala pumsa krishnastu bhagwan swayam indrari vyakulam lokam rudayanti yuge yuge, means Krishna is source of all the avatars and he descends from spiritual world to material world in innumerable incarnations. Like how, how there are so many rivulets, they flow in inexhaustible ocean, and they are the sources of water. Shri Shri Radha Gokulanand ki jai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So like that, so many rivers flow into the ocean. We can't count, we don't know. And then there is also a verse 26 in the same 1:3:26, Avtara hi asankhyeya. Asankhya, innumerable avatar. Hare sattva nidher dvija. Yatha vidasina kulya sarasa shu sahasrashaha. Means what? Krishna's incarnations are, no one can count them, how many they are. And then he comes to, in this world, to accomplish three purposes, as we know. Everyone knows this popular verse, Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya, sambhavami yuge yuge. So he comes to do three things. First, to protect the righteous, the devotees, to punish the miscreants, and to establish the virtues, the dharma, the principles, the morals. So Krishna comes in different manvantaras and yugas, and he says it is Krishna who appears. He's the source of incarnations, and to have loving pastimes with his devotees, Krishna appears on this planet, and that's the primary reason that he wants to have loving pastimes with his devotees. Like Vrajvasis, we know Vrindavan Leelas of Krishna, Gopas, Gopis, there is Mother Yashoda, there is Nanda Baba, there is cows, calves, pasture grounds, peacocks, parrots, and monkeys. He comes for this loving exchange. And the byproduct is he will kill all the miscreants as like a game for a child. Krishna didn't use a single weapon to kill all the demons in Vrindavan. His fist and hands and legs were more than enough, So, this is how it is. So he descends by his total mercy. I mean, think about it. He's so happy in the spiritual world. It's a perfect world. He's with his loving associates, but he comes for us. Because it is his unalloyed, his nature is such that he will not forget us, that we are here in material world. He stays with us. He comes, he reminds us, does this pastime, so we get attracted to him, and then we get attracted to bhakti, and we may want to go back. So result of knowing Krishna's birth and activities is janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma Naiti Mameti. So Arjuna. So this chapter has so many beautiful verses that you want to recite all, but it's not possible. So Krishna says to Arjuna, please understand my birth and divine activities are very transcendental, knowing which you will not take rebirth and you will definitely go back to Godhead. So this is the nature of Divya knowledge. If you know this knowledge, you will go back to Godhead. And know the knowledge means then you apply it and live as per that knowledge. And different people have different natures and material in the material world. So then Krishna explains, how do I deal with different people? Then he says that I am reciprocal in nature. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. So he says that the way you approach me, in similar way I will reciprocate with you. I mean, this is true for even us. If someone is friendly with us, we'll be friendly back with them. If someone's hostile, we will be a bit more, resistant. And then if someone has material motivations, wants something from us, then we may keep distance. And then if someone is not loyal to you, or you find out someone is like a spy, you will stay away from them. And these things we do. Someone is friendly, where someone is loving, will be loving towards them. So, and even in Bhagavad Gita 9:25, Krishna says, Yanti deva vrata devan, pitran yanti pitravrataha, bhutani yanti bhutejya, yanti madhyaji nopimam. If you worship devatas or demigods for wealth and prosperity, there is a lot of people would want certain things. They will go to devta for that, and devatas will give it to them. Some people want to go back to ancestors, so they will worship pitrus. Some people, it is mentioned here, ghosts, they worship that, they will go there. And even devatas are temporary. So why we should not worship devta? They will give us prosperity. Okay, fine. You will gain something, but then again this temporary world is temporary, devtas are temporary. You know, Indra, in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, 14 Manvantaras, and each Manu will have his own Indra for that Manvantara, who will be the office bearer. So like that, 1/14th day of Brahma, there is one Indra. So you can imagine that in the totality of a bigger picture, if you see the intelligence is to worship Krishna, who will give us the permanent what is best for us, like a father. You know, he will take us back, and that is why this human body should be used in a way that how much bhakti I am feeling within myself in this subtle body, mind, intelligence, ego, which will go with my soul to the next body, how much I am using this body to nourish myself and my, my subtle body and my soul, how much food I am giving to the soul. So that is the intelligent thing to do. And also again, example of Krishna is not partial, he is equal to all. But it's like he's giving equal opportunity to everyone to become a devotee. Everyone it's an open invitation. So once you become a devotee, then you will go in that inner circle of Krishna. So there is a partiality circle, but it is open to all. So he's impartially partial. He's saying, I love everyone, but I'm specially inclined towards my devotee. There is more love for my devotee because they use their free will nicely to come to me. That's what he's saying, and that makes him very happy. I mean, parents, for example, get very happy, isn't it, when child is very obedient and listening for their own good, then that child might get more love, So that's how it, and for example, there is a bee. Bee gets attracted to lotus and it goes to drink the nectar. But when sunset happens, the petals of the lotus will close. And the bee gets trapped and may die. Now, is this sun's fault? No. The bee stayed there. He should have escaped before sunset. It's not sun's fault. So in the same way, it's never Krishna's fault when we are going through some suffering. And then, for example, a teacher is teaching the class equally, all the students. But some students will be paying more attention. They'll sit in the front. They'll make notes. After the class, they may approach the teacher and ask more questions, and that way they will learn more. So it is not teacher's partiality end of the day. And for example, a judge will have to punish someone or he will have to reward someone. So that's not, judge is not partial. It's according to their actions, they were either punished or rewarded. So Krishna, similarly, that's how it works with Krishna. And then moving on, he also says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mai te teshu chapyam. Everyone has equal opportunity, and everyone can worship Krishna and become dear to Krishna. And then moving on in the verse, Krishna created 4 varnas according to the qualities and swabhava. So 4 varnas everyone knows is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So it is like even Srila Prabhupada made so many devotees Brahmanas who even came from West. So being Brahmana is by quality. It is not by birth that I am born in Brahmana family, so I am Brahmana. Yes, that's fine as long as I carry on with Brahminical activities and live according to the expected qualities of Brahmana. But Srila Prabhupada gave qualifications to everyone, and so it is by quality and by nature that one can become Brahmana. And then Krishna says also that it is by karma, quality and swabhava, these 4 varnas are created. And even Krishna acted as Vaishya and Kshatriya. But again, Krishna has no interest in doing any of such work, but he does it, he comes here and does it to set an example. So we do it, because Yadyad Acharti Shrestha 3.21, that we will always watch the leader and follow the leader. So he says, Namam karmani limpanti, name karma phale spruha, iti mam yo bijanati, karmabhir nasa badhyate. Means, Namam karmani limpanti. I am not not entangled by any karma, no reaction. He is not affected by any happiness, distress. He doesn't want anything from anyone. He has no attachment to enjoying the results of this karma, none of that. And he is not bound by karma, but he performs these activities to set an example for us how to live here, how to do it. And by understanding this about Krishna, there are so many great souls, they did their prescribed duties and they went back to Godhead. And then further Krishna in the chapter explains intricacies of karma. He says that I'll explain to you what is karma, vikarma and akarma. Three things, right? Karma, vikarma, akarma. So we'll discuss that. By the way, karma, when we say karma, it is 5 things depending on the context that we use. First thing is karma can mean action. Secondly, it can mean reaction. Thirdly, it can mean prescribed duty. Prescribed duty is like depending on my ashrama and varna and where the body I am put in. For example, if I am student, my prescribed duty is to study. If I am a doctor, my prescribed duty is to treat my patients. If I am an engineer, then I am building things, construction. And if I am a housewife, then I have to look after the family, the children very nicely. So in this way, prescribed duty. So action, reaction, prescribed duty. Fourth thing is fruitive action. Fruitive action is done with wanting desires, the fruits of desires. So it's a action done with a purpose that I want fruits from this, I want enjoyment. So it's a selfish action. And the fifth thing is whole chain of action reaction. So when karma is used, it could be any 5 of these things. Now secondly, akarma. Akarma means 2 things. First thing is not doing any action. No action is akarma, okay? Inaction. And secondly, akarma means you are doing action, you are doing activity, you are doing work, but it is every action has reaction, but this action has non-reactionary action, means you will not get any reaction. That is akarma. You'll do action, but you won't get reaction. So this is like, for example, you are working with mud, but your hands don't get muddy because you are wearing gloves. Or for example, there is a doctor who's treating a patient who has virus, but the doctor is wearing mask, apron and gloves. So although he is doing the action of curing the patient with virus, he will himself not get virus. He will be protected. So akarma is coming further, we will understand. Akarma is what we want to do. What it means is a divine spiritual activity. It involves action, but when it is done without any attachment to result, and when we give those results to Krishna, it becomes a karma. And karma is a pious action where work is done with attachment, with desire to fruits, but according to scriptures, then it will give you good reaction, punya. And vikarma, yes, we didn't discuss. Vikarma is bad action. For example, it is not as per, it's done with attachment, it's not as per the scriptures, and it will give you bad result, like sin or hell. A mundane example would be driving on the opposite side of the road against the rule, speeding, mundane example like that. And in real world, it could be like really bad things, stealing or robbing or, killing, all that. So that will incur sin. So karma is pious action done with attachment to fruits, and it is also offered to Krishna, and at the same time it is done as per Shastra, then it is punya, good result will come. Vikarma, bad action, not as per Shastra, and you will get sin. Akarma is spiritual divine activity doing which we can free ourselves. There will be no reaction and we can go back to Godhead. And the best way to understand akarma is read 3.30 verse of Bhagavad Gita. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasi adhyatma chetasa nirasir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vikatajvara. With knowledge, with detachment, you fight for Krishna Arjuna, and thus you will not incur any bondage to your work, no reaction to your work. So So, and we cannot avoid action. We can't sit quiet. We have to do action. So might as well we do it. It's like it's a prescribed duty, and that's where we are also coming. We have 10 minutes, but today's verse is also about that only, 441. That doing your work with detachment, with knowledge of Krishna, what is our relationship with Krishna, and then offering it to Krishna, we will not incur any reaction. And then there is also one more thing here in this chapter is when the yagna, sacrifice, in spiritual consciousness is done, then you will get knowledge. Any work done in spiritual consciousness will give you knowledge. So yagna gives you gnana. And the verse here is 24th. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahmakarma Samadhina. So here the word Brahma, every time Brahma comes, it's not Lord Brahma, it means spiritual here, the context is. So everywhere in the verse, wherever Brahma comes, you replace it with spiritual, and you can understand this verse very well. It means that a sacrifice involves in offering spiritual oblations in the spiritual fire with spiritual instruments by spiritual person who has spiritual inclinations. Then what happens? You attain spiritual goal. Why? Because you are absorbed in spiritual activities. Everything is spiritual, so your goal is spiritual. Any activity done with spiritual consciousness takes us to spiritual goal. When you simply do prescribed duty with responsibility, you will attain knowledge. Now this relates to us. Any duty you do with responsibility and you do it with spiritual knowledge, then you will gain spiritual consciousness, you will gain knowledge. And karma yoga leads to mature gnana and detachment. Like for example, to give example, okay, there's a lot of philosophy, but the example would be you are doing same job every day, for example, right? Same work you are doing every day. Then what happens? You will gain expertise in that work, right? You are doing it with responsibility. And you will gain knowledge also about it. You will be able to do faster. You will gain knowledge and you will become detached also. You are doing it every day. So different ways to attain knowledge. One is through gnana. And second, you perform karma yoga. You do prescribed duty sincerely with detached spirit and you will attain knowledge. So, gnana becomes culmination of karma. But there is another quick way of getting knowledge, and that is a very beautiful verse in this chapter 434. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So, just go directly to a guru. He will give you knowledge. And for that, you will need three things actually to go to a guru and gain knowledge. You need submissiveness to Guru, you need to be humble and you need to be obedient like that South Indian Brahmana. And then secondly, you have to ask relevant queries, not mundane queries or not challenging queries or less queries, but good queries related to our Atma Gnana, and to advance in spiritual life. And then render service to Guru. So submissiveness, good enquiries, and serve Guru. This way, the Guru will enlighten you with knowledge. So you do this and you will gain knowledge. So even Krishna set an example. He went to Sandimani Pani school and he learnt knowledge. So now we had earlier said that to gain knowledge, not just intelligence, but we need devotion and we need to be friendly to Krishna. Now the third thing we need in verse 39 says that what else you need to gain this knowledge? You need Shraddha. Shraddhava labhate gnanam tatpara samyatendriya gnanam labdhva param shantim achirenadi gacchatim. To acquire knowledge you need Shraddha. Faith in his position, his knowledge, Vaishnava qualities of the Guru, and you be dedicated and committed. You control your senses and then you can attain knowledge, peace and devotion ultimately. And today's verse, perfect, we have 5 minutes, and today's verse is reaction-free work, 441. What is the verse saying? that don't give up your prescribed duty, but give up the fruitive action. Means do sannyasa in karma, not sannyasa of karma. It makes sense. Don't give up your prescribed duty, do it. But in that duty, don't have expectations of results. It's up to Krishna. It will come automatically. For example, you have interview. I mean, when we have this perspective, things become so much easier and actually they work in our favor. So a student has to give exams. So what's in his hand? He can really work hard and he can be very sincere and give exam. But what will the questions be in question paper is not in his hand. What result he will get, it's not in his hand. What's in his hand? The minute he agrees with this and understands and accepts this, his brain will become very, very calm and quiet. There is like, our prefrontal cortex in the brain, and then there is amygdala. Whenever we are fearful for interview or example, that amygdala becomes activated, and that's a bad, like a red flag for us. We want to be very calm, like that's why they say breathe in and inhale. This thing is there, no? Be calm and breathe and all that. Those quotes come. But it actually works, and that's why we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Breathe and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And what will happen is that prefrontal cortex will activate and amygdala will calm down, and you will start thinking logically, and your emotional brain will shut down, and you will gain so much clarity. Even in the middle of so many difficulties and problems, you will be able to think clearly, and it is tried and tested, so definitely it works. So do reaction-free work, don't expect results, do your duty, and this way you will do very well. That's what Krishna says. And the last verse of the chapter, I won't say much about it, it's tomorrow, but it's connected that now Arjun, get up and fight. You got this knowledge that do your duty, leave the rest to Krishna, you just fight. And so that's what's the verse about. And I would like to conclude here. Thank you so much for your kind attention and patience. And please forgive me if it was boring or, I thank you so much, very much. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is a lot of philosophy here. But if you want to add anything or ask anything, then, or you can give your realization. We have few minutes. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Yes, today is also Vijaya Ekadasi, so I can speak now because the curtains are still closed. Vijaya Ekadasi relates to, there was, Lord Rama. Sita Devi was taken by Ravana, and then Lord Rama and Lakshmana and all the Vanaras and Sugriva, they come across the ocean. And seeing the ocean, Lord Ram thinks, what's the way beyond this, how to cross over it? I mean, this is a pastime. This is Lord Ram. What can he not do? But to set an example, they go to this sage, and the sage gives them advice that you perform this Vijaya Ekadasi Vrata. Vijaya Ekadasi means it will give you victory over anything if you will follow this Vrata. And so Lord Ram does this Vrata, and then the ocean gives way, and we know later how victory was Lord Ram's, and they conquered over Ravana, the evil. So nowadays in Kali Yuga, Ravana is within our mind. He is inside our mind in the form of anger, lust, talking about me, anger, lust, envy, pride, greed, illusion, all of this is there. And we can overcome this if we calm our senses. And the whole point of fasting is eating less means our senses will calm down, and we will be able to hear the voice of Super Soul Krishna within our heart. That is the whole idea. Eat less, save time, and chant more, read more, hear bhajans more, sing more, and discuss Krishna Katha. That is the whole point, because the minute we are eating less, we are cooking less, we are getting less groceries, we don't even have to go to the toilet as often, then we don't have to bathe as often in the day, and so much time is saved, and that time is used for coming closer to Krishna by chanting, by reading, by singing. That's the whole point of performing Ekadasi, and Ekadasi Tithi is very, very dear to Lord Krishna. So this is one quick quick way to become dear to Krishna. So Lord Ram got victory, and we can also, gain victory over all our anathas and become dear to Krishna. That is my prayer today. And with all your blessings, if I can purify and come closer to Krishna, then that would be the biggest achievement. Thank you so much, and I wish the same for you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Could I just ask you to please remember that we want to leave a small corridor, narrow corridor, at the center of the temple room, so that our backs are not directly against Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, founder, Acharya, by whose grace we were able to come here and have this arati. So let's try and remember that. Thank you so much. Okay, we can do this. Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyareshatarine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Kiba Jaya Jaya Gora Chander Arati Kashobha Jaya Jaya Gora Chander Arati Kashobha Kiba Jaya Jaya Gora Chander Arati Shobha Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Arati Shobha Jhanavi Tatavane Jagamana Lobha Jhanavi Manavitaktavane Jagamanalobha Gaurangerarutikshobha Jagajanamana-lobha Gaurangerarutikshobha Jagajanamana-lobha Dakine Nitai Chand Bame Gadadhara Dakine Nitai Chand Dakine Nitai Chand Bame Gadadhara Nikate Advaita Srinivasa Chatradhara Nikate Advaita Srinivasa Chatradhara Boshiyache Gorachand Ratna Simhasane Boshiyache Gorachand Boshiyache Gorachand Ratna Simhasane Arati Koren Brahma Adideva Gane Arati Koren Brahma Adideva Gane Nara Hari Hari Kori Chamaradhulaya Nara Hari Hari Kori Chamaradhulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Bashu Goshadigaya Sanjaya Mukunda Bashu Goshadigaya Shaka Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karatala Shaka Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karatala Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karathala Mathura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujvala Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujvala Gala Deshe Banamala Kore Jalamala Gala Deshe Banamala Kore Jalamala Shiva Shukanarada Preme Gada Gada Shiva Shukanarada Preme Gada Gada Bhaktivedanta Dadeke Godara Sampada Bhaktivedanta Dadeke Godara Sampada Kiba Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Aratika Shobha Kiba Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Aratika Shobha Navitatavan Jagamanna Lobha Janavitatavan Jagamanna Lobha Gaurangera Rotik Shobha Jaga janma mana lobha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashtotara Sata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashtotara Sata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Ki. Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki. Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Nabadvip Dham Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Yamuna Mai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Tulasi Devi Ki. Samaveta Bhaktavrinda Ki. Janitai Gaur Premanandi. Haribo. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories unto the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thanks so much, everybody. Please be seated, and we will sing prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Daine. Hiranyakasi Purvaksaha. Silatankhana khalaye. Ito na singa parato na singa. Yato yato yamitato na simma. Bahe nisimma ritaye nasimma. Nasimma ritaye nasimma. Narasingamadim saranam prapade. Tava kara kamalavare naka adbhuta singa. Dalita hiranyakasipu tanu bringa. Kesavadrita narari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tavakara Kamalavare Naka Adbhuta Singa. Dalita hiranyakasipu tanu bringa. Kesavadrita narari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Avakara Kamalavare Naka Adbhuta Singa. Dalita hiranyakasipu tanu bringa. Kesavadrita narari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Kamalavare Naka Adbhuta Singa. Dalita hiranyakasipu tanu bringa. Jaya Narasimhade, 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 Jaya Narasimhade. Narasimhade, 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 Jaya Narasimhade. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Pada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय नरसिंहादेव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, निताय गौ प्रभु की, Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna everyone. We will be continuing our kirtans until last arati, which is at 9 o'clock. So please have prasad and join us, and let's glorify Krishna's name. Hare Nam, Hare Krishna.
You can sing more. Yeah, go on then.
Nimai. We go, what time is it now? 7?
Yeah.
You want to get some maha and then you come back?
We do it now.
I'll get the maha and then you come back in.
No. Sorry. Everybody please stand up.
Okay. No. There's nobody.
Send up a team.
Yeah, for the feast. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Come closer. Come closer, sit down. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Okay. Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pastasha Tarine. Shadeshata